Page 13, Imperial March. This is from Star Wars, one of the marches in it. It's kind of neat. Got a lot of accidentals, a lot of stuff going on here, so let's look at it. I look it over, it's a page long, although there's a DC Alfini, but there's still only one page. There's no page turn. Two flats in the key signature. If we look at the end, which is a measure 4, it's here. G minor. Makes sense. Two flats is either B flat major or G minors, and this is G minor. I recommend you, though, scales and arpeggios you do by key signatures. So go ahead and do the B flat major and the G minor stuff. And 4/4 time signature. Now I want to check things here in the left hand. They have a 1/4. Then you come down here because that's here, and then up here. I'd like to cover that all pretty much one hand position, and I can't really. I mean, it's kind of hard because it's a wide one here, but I can move around. I can cover most of it. So I'll do a 2/5 at here. This way I can go here. I got that much of it in one hand position. And if I do a 1/3 here, that makes it easier to reach up here. See, or a 2/2 either. So I don't know how big your hands are. So if you can, a 2/1, that works too, or a 3/1. You decide. I just don't. I don't want to be moving around a lot. I know it's pedal, but I want to do it with the fingers. And then coming up here, and I do a 4 here. That's a 1, 2, 4, because I'm saving a little finger for the last one. Make sure these dotted rhythms are crisp. Don't turn them into triplets. Ba-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. That's a triplet. No. Crisp. 16th note's got to be short. Make it really short if you need to. All the way through on these dotted rhythms. Now, measure 5, it starts out all right, but now we got 8th note kind of going down chromatically. So that's good fingering. I like that. You gotta work that out. Here. And they say a 4. I find that kind of awkward. There's nothing wrong with using the awkward fingers, but I prefer 3. I can do that much more easily. So starting measure 6 here, I cross over 3. And you do that again. Just keep in mind the G flat, excuse me. You get it on measure 7 and again on measure 11. Measure 7, you're here, a flat. But then on the next measure, it's a natural. Because that flat is only good for that measure. And same thing for measure 11. You see, you have a G flat. Well, let's go back to the second measure. It's here. It's a here. And then you have a G flat here. That does not make this a G flat. That's still a natural. Here. This flat does not make this. Now, if you tell that to a violin player, I happen to play violin, they'll argue with you. No, that flat here applies for all of them. And they would play that half note as a G flat also. They would play that. And I got into a discussion with a violin player sitting next to in an orchestra. And she was adamant because she was a long time violin viola. Oh no, that flat sign applies to all of them, all G's, everywhere they are. That's it. And I told her piano players can't do that. We need it on every octave, and this is an example of that. And the second measure, that G flat is only good for that G here, not any other G. And that's typically how piano music goes. So that debate continues. People still don't agree. You do what you want. But this is an example of what I was trying to tell her. So if I'm playing violin, I'd probably play a G flat here. But on piano, it's a G natural. Yeah. Now in measure 4, you get the G flat. And now you get a natural sign. Well, that's because it's in the same measure. Because that flat at the measure 1, that's good for the rest of the measure. But even this G flat, you also get another flat sign for that one. Here. So in that case, it's another example of it applies for that point on for the rest of the measure, but only on that note. Left hand is to do, I do a 3-1 at the beginning because I want to cover all this in one hand position. I don't need to be moving around. No, pretty much. That's about all I have to say for the left hand. The chords, you can figure them out. Just be careful with them. And then I'll put the hands together slowly. And here. The right hand moves up, left hand doesn't. And then going on. Put the hands together, and then I'll go back over it just a couple measures at a time or so, and I'll work out the hesitations. No hesitations. And then I think about the articulation, which in this case, they don't give us any. Yeah. Well, it's a march. If you've seen the movie, you kind of get an idea how it goes. It's a left, right, is pretty much connecting it. Then the dynamics applies to the melody. That's here. Everything else is in the background, but you're very loud here. It's just we want to hear the melody. Don't go, because you drown out the melody. We want to hear this. Put more weight on that note. See this, I'm just kind of doing a moderately loud in there. On this, it's the right hand I'm after. And then on the measure 5, you come down a little bit. Here, and then it goes crescendo back up. The left hand's soft. Just don't play the whole thing very loud. We need a little variety in here. So it's got to come down a little bit and then louder and then come down a little something. As far as the speed goes, it's just a march. Left, right, left, bum, 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 yeah. Typically on a metronome, a march speed is around 120. Left, right, it's 2 beats per second. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, bum, bum, bum. You can slow that down a little bit. You don't have to go that fast. Now they've added pedal. Of course they have. Well, we need it here. We want the overtones and we want to connect the repeated notes and help us connect the chords and everything. But we don't want to smear it up anymore, and we have to. Now push the pedal down at the beginning here. Because it's really loud, very loud, you can push the pedal down before you play the first note. So you get more of an explosion here. Push it down. Overlapping. I just here, place the note, then the pedal, notes, then the pedal. And then I do that throughout, and that's pretty much what it is. Not a lot going on the pedal. Measure 4, they give you that second time multo rit. That's at the end. They tell you to slow down a lot. Lets them know it's over. Because otherwise you're just kind of going along and then suddenly there's nothing there. And then, wait, what happened? What? So you slow down a little bit, let them know it's over. Kind of short, but it's a nice arrangement.